What's good, people? It's your boy RFG back at it today, just to go over some questions a lot of people have been asking me lately. This video, I'm going to be explaining basically a little bit more about my personal life and my past, and basically how I grew up. I grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. Um, a lot of people don't understand that the crime rate in Las Vegas, Nevada is terrible. It is absolutely terrible, people. If you get a chance, do your research and put in on Google. You know what I mean? The crime rate in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is horrendous. And there's an agenda with the media and the casino owners in Las Vegas, because if they give out all the information about all the crime that goes on in Las Vegas, they're gonna lose a lot of money, especially tourist money. Las Vegas makes most of its money off of the casinos and tourists that come here to spend their money from all across the world. Well, if other people in other states in America see on TV the real shit that goes on in Las Vegas, they're not gonna want to come here. You see what I'm saying? So there's an agenda with the casino owners and the countrywide news stations. Okay, the mainstream news stations, and the mainstream news stations basically keep Las Vegas's business under the rug. Okay, we all know the saying, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." That is absolutely true. Okay, because like I said, if they exposed all the stuff that went down in the city on air, like on national TV, nobody would want to come spend their money here. I promise you that. Okay, so I was here most of my life, you know what I'm saying? Besides 1 year in Arizona, I spent basically all my life in Las Vegas. My mother, you know what I mean, was a melanated woman. My father was Colombian. He was part Spaniard and part Incan. Okay, and he worked at a military base, you know what I mean, that we all know as Area 51, for about 22 years. He got hired there in 1990, and he retired in 2014, I believe. Yeah, 2013 or 2014. And I just remember growing up as a child, you know what I mean, I would only see my father twice, 2 times out of the month. And it was very strange because, you know, my dad used to tell me things that were going on at his job, and, you know, I would think he was lying, but he would tell me about secret military weapons that they were making at his job, and I would see what he told me about in the movies about 3 or 4 years later after he told me. So when I would watch certain movies, certain sci-fi movies, and I'd see those vehicles, I'd remember my dad telling me, you know what I'm saying, that they were working on that project at his job. Okay, and I used to tell my friends as well, but they, you know what I'm saying, they used to think I was crazy. They never believed me. One of the most important things that I feel that happened to me in my childhood was my mother used to always tell me, you know what I mean, no matter what your skin shade is, no matter how light your complexion is, this is a country that's basically controlled by white people, and white people are always going to view you as a nigga. And that's what my melanated mother always told me. And for all the subscribers who want to know, you know what I'm saying, why do I conduct myself the way I conduct myself? Why do I act the way I act? To be real, to be honest, it all goes back to my mother and what she used to tell me growing up in the ghetto. Okay, she used to tell me, no matter how light your skin complexion is, you know what I'm saying, these white people are gonna view you as non-white, plain and simple. So that's how I carried out my life. I hung out, you know what I'm saying, when the relationship with me and my mother took a dive, you know what I mean, I hung out with the criminals, with the thugs, you know what I mean, just like almost every other, you know what I'm saying, young melanated man that was my age at the time. You see what I'm saying? Because I was misguided, and my family basically ostracized me when I reached the age of 17, going into 18. Okay, when I refused to go to the military. I refused to go to the military in 2010 after I graduated high school. And I did this because I was shown a video, basically 2.5 hours long, showing forensic evidence that 9/11, that September 11th, was a inside job and a hoax. At that point, you know what I'm saying, I lost all faith and all trust in the United States government. And I basically said I would die before I serve a government that kills its own people just to raid other countries and take their resources. You know what I'm saying? I said that. I made that stand, and I said that at the age of 18. Okay? So that kept me out of the military. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my family members started to view me as different. And also, by me denying the military, caused me to be jobless for 2 whole years. So between 2010 and 2012, I was basically jobless, damn near homeless. You know what I'm saying? I was still selling drugs at the time. And a lot of times I would go to the library to study astronomy, astrology, and numerology. And because I always had an interest in astronomy and astrology since I was 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Other kids in elementary school would be focused on what's going on in the media, you know, some Disney Channel, Cartoon Network bullshit. I was the only kid looking at the sci-fi books, looking at the UFO books, looking at the space books. I was the only kid in all my classes in elementary and middle school. And like I said, people thought I was weird. Between 2010 and 2012, I would spend a lot of my time in the library studying ancient astrology, astronomy, and numerology. And when I found books on numerology, that led me to start studying natal charts. Now, it's pretty crazy because the numerology that I stumbled upon is known as Babylonian, I'm going to repeat, Babylonian and Kemetic numerology. It goes all the way back to Babylon, okay? The numerology I study. And I learned this starting in 2010. So I've been studying Babylonian, Kemetic numerology, astronomy, astrology, and numerology for about 6 years straight. Like I said, 6 heavy years straight. And that's why I have the level of knowledge that I have. And that is my method of decoding certain events, or basically all events that go on in the world. That's how I decode them. I use Babylonian numerology, Kemetic numerology, okay? And I go off of basically astrology, how the planets and stars are aligned around this earth, okay? And like I said, man, everything that happened to me throughout my life, I feel was destined. I feel like I'm destined to be in the position that I am today. And I feel like I'm part of a chosen generation. And I was chosen to wake a lot of people up because of the location that my father worked, because of, you know what I'm saying, individuals on my mother's side of the family being part of the Black Panther organization and already knowing about the corruption in the government. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was born to do this. Like I said, my mother was born the same year the Black Panther organization was established. You know what I'm saying? I was born the same year of the Rodney King riots. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand, but when a child is born in a certain year, the child is going to acquire the energy. The child is going to acquire the energy of the events that are taking place that year. That is going to stick with the child for the rest of its life. Okay, a lot of people don't understand how energy really works. Okay, especially with newborns. That a lot of people they're just not aware of that information. Okay, so this was a very long journey for me to get to the point where I'm at today. Because after I did all that studying in the library from 2010 to 2012, I say about late 2011, that's when I moved to Arizona with a couple of high school friends. I was going to Mesa Community College in Mesa, Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I was still dealing drugs. I basically dropped out of college, and then I hit rock bottom financially. It got so bad to the point where my sister had to pay just for me to go back to Las Vegas, because like I said, I hit rock bottom and I had no finances, I had no income. So when I came back to Vegas in 2012, I basically pawned everything I owned just to put food in my mom's refrigerator. And I got called by this organization called Nevada Partners. They're like an internship organization that helps you find full-time employment. And I got hired by Catholic Charities. Yeah, I got hired by Catholic Charities, which was my first full-time job making legal money. Okay. And during that whole year of 2012 is when I started doing my most heavy research. May 27th of 2012, I was part of a pastor's sermon, and the pastor's name was Pastor Ryan, and he basically put his hand over my head and prophesied it over me, and basically saw everything that went on in my past, saw what was going on in my present, and said if I turned to the one true creator, if I turn to the one true creator and turn my life over to the one true creator. And it's funny because he didn't mention Jesus. He didn't mention Jesus Christ. I think everything happens for a reason. He said if I turn to the one true creator, that everything that I would dream of, everything that I would wish would basically come into fruition. Okay? And at that moment, there was a sharp pain in the back of my head, and I swear to God, there was like a fucking giant light ray that came through the back of my head, through my eyes, and I was blinded. Like I said, I was blinded. I couldn't even see, and all I could see was a ray of light, and the energy was so strong, all I could do was start tearing up. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I wasn't even emotional or anything. The energy that was coming through the back of my head was so damn intense. Like, that was the only thing I could do to release the energy, was to tear up. And from that moment on, I feel like my pineal gland, that energy was coming from my pineal gland. And from that moment on, my pineal gland was basically decalcified. Okay, from that moment on. That's what I think the Creator did to me to gain the amount of wisdom that I gained from 2012 to 2014. Because from 2012 to 2014, that's when I found out, you know what I'm saying, Jesus was a lie. That's when I found out that what was going on in these underground military bases was actually fact and not fiction. You see what I'm saying? That's when I found out etymology. etymology. Etymology, the history of words, and the power that words hold, the history of words, and that people actually curse themselves by what they call themselves and what they say and what comes out of their mouth. Okay, words hold their own energy through etymology. Okay, I learned that from 2012 to 2014. I was brought to master teachers. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Delbert Blair, rest in peace. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, rest in peace. The 13th son, Phil Valentine. Okay? Dr. Layla Africa. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Henry Clark. Okay? Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? Master teachers. Okay? And Dr. Ray Hagan as well. So when I started listening to these individuals' lectures, that's when my whole psyche changed up. And when the 13th son dropped his Trayvon Martin ritual video, July 13th of 2013, that's when I said, you know what I'm saying, forget it. I'm just going to drop Christianity as a whole and become a Moor/Mason, you know what I'm saying, and basically live my life how it's supposed to be and practice what I preach. You see what I'm saying? Live my life for the Creator and the ancestors. Okay? So that's basically how I've obtained the knowledge that I've obtained today, and that is why I hold the energy I do, and I basically act the way I act. Okay, it all goes back to everything that I've been through in life, and everything that I've learned, and everything that I've been shown by master teachers. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. That's really all I had to say about that topic. You know what I'm saying? I hope, you know what I'm saying, I answered a lot of people's questions. My next video is going to be a little bit more in depth about this whole natal chart science. I'm getting ready to show you guys how to basically predict how much material resources one can gain in one's life in a natal chart. I'm gonna show you how to look at a female's natal chart and see what kind of men she's attracted to. I'm gonna show you guys how to look into a male's natal chart and show what kind of females he's attracted to naturally. Also the relationship with his mother, the relationship with the female's mother, you know what I'm saying, what kind of friends they're gonna attract, all of that. All of that can be shown in someone's natal chart. I'm also going to show how you can find how psychic somebody is in their natal chart. So like I said, people, stay tuned. My next video is going to be about, you know, more about natal chart science. I appreciate everybody who supported the RFG movement, Atlantean movement. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. It's the Chosen One Man. I'm out.